accessibility, Joe. The board can make a decision on the easement itself. The owners would have to approve the parking. I don't think we'll have much success on that front. We have an informal meeting in May. That was their meeting in May. And then
Right.
I saw him in here, and that's when I thought they would come in. He says his board will brush out, you know, here's this, I don't know if Brent knows the situation. This is stage crossing off of,
Behind the library.
Mm-hmm. So, right now, we have an easement to go between these units and go over to our
Text him
property,
while he's driving.
existing trail in here. They want us to give up this easement and come in this way, which is actually their property, Old Stage, to the north of Old Stage Road, where the Gene access used to be for the Gene house. So we would have to bridge it. The problem I see is we'd have to maintain this. We have enough trouble maintaining everything else we have. You know, we have the mower, but we need like the Boy Scouts or somebody every year to brush that out. We still have the parking issue. People don't know about this walking trail except when my walking map goes out, then they're gonna know about it, and you can't park up here. You can park that one spot down at the library where that T is to the right of the,
That holds 3 cars?
yeah, that one.
Mhm.
Now, you had said you didn't wanna park on this Leach property that we own, because if we brushed out anymore, then you could see the back of the library.
Well, when you and I were talking one day, I was getting a little facetious because, you know, I will just clear the whole thing out, let the library look as ugly as it is, and just show it up and just develop that as a parking space. They don't want us to park where they don't want us to park.
You certainly wouldn't pave it, maybe
No,
a
no.
couple gravel spaces over here.
Mhm.
There's nothing worse than seeing a huge parking lot like
Mhm.
Hamilton
I
or
agree,
somebody
I agree.
out in front of a building.
Mhm.
Well, when we bought that property, that's what we had talked about, was cutting down some of those birch trees and making a small parking lot in the
Right,
back.
but see the wetland line is, the wetland, because the trolley track, lines up the wetlands, and you have this wetland north-south issue.
Mhm.
So you couldn't go much further, you could go a little bit past, like those where the birch trees are. You could
Right.
go.
Mhm.
And even if we cut them back, just, you know, instead of, you know, cutting a swath in there, why don't we just cut some back so that, you know, you can just pull in from the existing
Line,
parking lot?
yeah.
And I mean, we'd only need 3 or 4 slots, I mean.
Right.
And that's a different issue than this whole easement issue.
Yeah, that- yeah.
The easement, you know, if it becomes popular, then yes, we're gonna have to do that part of it. The easement issue is a bigger issue. I mean, I could understand these people don't want, they can go there once a year. I go in the winter, traipsing through their backyards, but on the other hand, what are we getting into over here? As far as
You know,
maintenance?
there could be.
Well, the big thing was, that, you know, we do have the easement, it was given to us, and as far as I'm concerned, they've never sweetened the pot enough to make it any change. So I say just leave it alone.
And the
It
other thing I
stands.
thought of
Mhm.
is, I think to give up these, we have to go to town meeting, I'm pretty sure.
That may be true, because it's,
To sell land, we would have to.
right, but I don't know that, but I
We
could,
own, it's a deeded easement.
we can check with our legal if you want.
Mhm.
I don't think this would be pot enough either.
No,
Well, I just say, if you did a list of pros and cons, what pros are we getting?
I haven't seen one
Nothing.
yet, that's what I just said, yeah,
Yeah.
doesn't sweeten the pot
pros
yet.
Right.
and the
No,
cons,
it's-
we have to keep this whole,
Mhm.
this whole thing.
And we gotta maintain another 1,000 feet?
More than that.
So basically, we're talking, if we eliminate, or if we give up the easement that we have off a stage
Right.
crossing, then we gotta come in from a whole
3A.
different access.
From the library.
From the library.
behind
From the
We
library.
can't, we'd have to extend the,
And we have to maintain that,
we
right?
have to, and we have to extend the parking lot at our expense.
Okay,
We
so,
had walked that at one point.
Oh,
We
yeah,
walked it in the
more than
spring
once.
time when it was- more than once.
wasn't that, so the easement that they gave us was a condition of,
They didn't give us, the owner.
The owner
of
gave it to
property
us.
gave it to us.
To the deed.
I was like,
but was it a condition of the construction?
No.
No, we'll
It was
explain,
before
we'll
that.
explain to you
It was
another day.
after
hmm?
that.
Yeah.
That easement was
After.
actually
Yeah.
for a road. They were gonna put a road through there to get to
Because
the
to be,
back.
because to be.
Oh,
able
There's
to-
gonna be another development behind.
Oh, okay.
It was
to be able to
expansion.
this piece, and that was
Okay.
gonna be Seville's road to get there. So day I just realized, oh, that's our only access in, so I called the attorney and.
He deeded it to us.
That's how we got it. The bill still owned that easement, so he turned it over to us. So we bought that property.
And the reason they want to get rid of the easement is?
They just don't want
They
somebody
just
walking.
don't want us up there
Well, no, they think
walking
that we're
around.
gonna troop through there with a bus full of Girl Scouts or Boy Scouts. Now, I did make up this new thing, which I finally got NRPC to fix the, state forest outlines.
I mean,
I
like,
put stage costs in, and I plan to make color copies and put
Why
them
don't you
on
share
the
it?
table.
Let's share it, all three of us. Yeah, put it in front of you.
I'll just put it
Then we'll
in the
lean,
middle.
we'll each lean on your shoulder on each side.
I'm friendly.
I mean, this is great because I don't think the average person knows that we have these things.
No, no.
And it would be nice to know,
Yeah, let me
to
get color copies.
share that with them.
Maybe, because we have some money under education.
Okay.
Nice job, Joan.
That's a great job, yeah. Yeah, as you just said, Brent, I mean.
The
I
only
think everyone
thing,
knows
should
this,
have a
actually.
title
Nobody
here,
knows
Joan.
this.
Yeah, in a year.
Now, so this is, what is this exactly?
This is town land that is accessible for walking, so I have to make some kind of title up there
Okay.
and put the date, the date that we get the copy of the year.
Would you title each area
No,
individually, or?
Each area is titled, Morris Falls, Litchfield,
Okay.
State Forest, Stagecoach, and then it's on the map like that.
So if
Just need a title.
if you had it in color, it would delineate
Yeah.
better
Yeah,
what the
So on
area is.
computer I have it in color, but I don't have a color.
Okay.
You don't have the one across from Ray Peoples,
Yeah, 'cause that's not one that. we
That's the
have.
town park.
Parker
That's
Park.
town
Parker Park, yeah,
Parker Park.
Parker Park, that's right.
which,
Parker Park.
which is,
That's kind of overgrown now.
yeah, it's really, my son tried to go
I
down
remember
there.
when it was beautiful. It was
Yeah.
a
Well,
nice
they
little-
had the kids fishing derbies
Yes.
there.
Yeah, right.
Jack has
30
been
years
talking
ago.
for years to get that money and do that covered bridge there.
That's right.
Parker Park, I don't know, somehow.
That would probably be a good Boy Scout project for somebody to go in there and clean that up.
Yeah. There's some-
Yeah, or an
Eagle
Eagle Scout
Scout, that's what I'm
project.
Yeah, probably almost like a double
Right.
eagle, because that's such a big project. That would
There's
almost be a double
a lot of
eagle.
snags hanging, but the ones that are in the water, you wouldn't want to take everything out of the water, because some of it's good fishing, hiding spots.
There's
But
probably
there's
no
a lot
water.
of snags hanging, I know,
Yeah,
it's not too healthy.
Any recreational grants or funding for anything like that?
I don't know.
It might be worth checking, so.
Yeah, I have a list of stuff. Well, if we could get the prisoners down there, that,
You have to
Well,
talk to
no,
Jeff.
it's
Oh,
true,
yeah.
they do a heck of a job, and they can use chainsaws.
right. The thing is, it could be grant money through, recreation.
Department of Recreation Development, yeah, good.
Yeah,
God knows my father used to get enough of it for me, it's just,
Yeah, he was a master.
oh, God,
He
yeah.
was a master.
well, I'll try and fit Parker Park in there somehow. All right, that's, so on the, issue of stage crossing,
I think it's at this time, it's a no-starter. It's just no.
Unless we have something, unless they give us something a
That's
little bit
right.
more.
So should we make that a motion?
The only,
No,
thing, haven't you been talking about this for a long time?
Since the beginning.
Would it be feasible or about time to take a vote or make a motion or something that, what are you gonna wait for
Are
them?
we looking for a monetary?
Well, I think we take at least one or two and turn them down. It's just they keep coming back.
Yeah,
I mean,
we have to.
the bottom line is,
But the thing is, we're not even breaking even on this. It's not. I'm not looking for anything. It's just we're taking on more work and more
Yeah.
financial responsibility.
Right, so I guess my
And if you
only
lose
question
it,
is,
you're not
shouldn't
gonna
we,
get it.
shouldn't you take a vote and notify them formally that
And
next?
then the other issue we didn't even think of is, if we, I'm sure that old Jean driveway is on their property, we'd have to have a whole new easement written up. Who's gonna pay for that?
you're probably right.
I'm pretty sure it's, because it's very close to Old Stage Road,
Mhm.
or is it behind the library?
I don't think so. I don't know, I don't think so.
It would have to have been on their property, because the Jean property got sold to.
Yeah.
them.
Mhm.
So that would mean the whole new
Well, this time, I can't see even what a motion
would be.
would look like, except that at this particular point in time, that anything you have proposed is not acceptable. I mean, that would be the only thing I could put in words. I mean, and do we wanna say what our demands would be? We've never even
No,
given that any
no,
research.
no. We don't, I
They
don't think
just-
we have demands, I think that we're happy the way it is.
Yeah,
Right,
basically,
their proposal for an exchange of easements is not
it's not
acceptable.
acceptable.
You could not accept
Yeah,
Right.
their
Yeah.
proposal,
Yeah,
or,
this time.
you
At
know,
this
you
time.
reject it.
Yeah.
If you want, not accept it sounds better than.
Yeah, not acceptable at this time.
Yeah, I just want to say rejected, eh? What
So
What?
should that be put into a motion?
do you think, Brent? You think so?
I would
I would think.
think that you'd want to settle this
Okay, I'll make
at
a,
this
entertain a
point
motion
once
this
for-
time.
Okay, so I write quickly. Go ahead, Tom.
Did you want to? Mr. Chairman, I would make a motion that we respond to the stage crossing folks and advise them that their proposal to exchange easements for our stage crossing property is not acceptable.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Any further questions or comments on it?
Should we say not acceptable at this time, or
I
back
just-
to?
No.
the-
Period.
I
Not-
just,
not acceptable,
I
period.
just
You-
leave it
you've
as
been
a
saying that
closed
Right,
end.
they
enough.
it's just
Get it done.
encourages someone to come back with something
With a
else.
sub-
Right.
Right.
You
It's
know.
not acceptable. All right.
Finish it. Yeah.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Unanimous vote?
Okay, we did the map of walkable
Yep,
paths.
got that in at the same time.
Park the park.
Kevin Lynch to discuss setback issues, September
Okay,
first
this
to
is your
eighth.
homework again.
Mhm.
So that the last sentence there is section 1207, in the Litchfield zoning, it's available online, you go to Litchfield website, go to document library, and then go to, ordinances, and you can find it under zoning. And it's under, so 1207 is, it has a setback section and a buffer section, and that's what he wants to change. He'll come in September, he said, and, because now we have a 75-foot building setback from wetlands, he wants to change it to 50 feet from wetlands.
Mhm.
So if I,
So he could have his foundation, he could have a foundation at 51 feet,
Mhm.
wetlands here, 51 feet.
okay,
And
so,
now we have 50-foot non-disturbed and 25 feet, and then at 75-foot setback, you have the building.
Why does he want to change it?
He's letting decks go into that 75 feet, which I don't have that big of an issue with decks on sonotubes. I would with, he had the foundation into 75 feet, because I don't think he's enforcing it the way that it's supposed to be enforced. So, he wants it, change it because years ago, it was that way, and he wants to be consistent with years ago. But we have.
Was this something that came up at the planning board the other night?
Yeah, it came up way back in November of 2015.
Yeah, I remember we had the discussion, because we talked about the fact that generally, it's like it's supposed to be like in the industry, it's 100 feet, and then we were gonna go to 75 to
Well,
kind of.
no, it's not
compromise.
100, and each town is different. We have a 200-foot vernal pool setback. But basically, I think he just wants to do the 75 down to 50, because years ago it was 50, and he just doesn't want all these different things around. But on new additions or new houses, I don't see the problem, keep it at 75. But he's gonna come in and
So
explain.
he's gonna come in to explain to us,
But I
okay?
just gave you that reference down there so you can.
So when is our September meeting, the first or the eighth? What do we,
Well, that's what I put, which do you
Oh.
want, because first is,
a Thursday?
the first Thursday, but it's also Labor Day weekend.
Well,
That's
Thursday, isn't it?
We're not stretching the weekend to Thursdays too now, are we?
Not really.
Hey, I'll go for it.
If it's the 8th, I can't.
I make a motion?
So we go with the first?
All weekends will now start on Thursday.
The 1st I can make, the 8th I
The
can't.
first, yeah.
That first. Okay, I'll tell him.
easy day to remember.
I mean, I don't mind extending weekends, Joan, but, I mean, you wanna go back to Wednesday?
He's
We
on a
can do
7-day
that.
weekend
I
now.
mean,
Let's just call it one work day each.
Start the weekend on Wednesday, we'll go right
Wednesday.
through.
Which day do you wanna work?
We have no new business, so we have the rainfall.
Rainfall report, do we have any rainfall this summer?
Could I,
What?
yes, we do have new business, if you don't mind. The Board of Selectmen would like to know if the Conservation Commission would like to serve as the Agricultural Committee. They agriculture committee was passed, the formation of one was passed at town meeting. And rather than appoint people or, we talked about it and we thought that possibly give you the right of first refusal of the Conservation Commission serving as the agriculture committee.
I was just gonna ask.
We haven't defined
We
that.
can write up our own description.
I don't know that there is a whole mess. There's certainly some under state law,
Yeah, that's not true.
and I'm not familiar with them at this point, to be honest with you. But it kind of makes sense because of the committees.
We need some more people, I think we need some, let's see, we have 1, 2, Sharon, 3, 4, 6, 7.
Well, the thing is, the charge of the Conservation Commission, seems to parallel an agricultural committee. And rather than appoint a whole separate, I think the board rightfully thinking that, your commitment to the agriculture and
Look at farmland as a natural
right,
resource.
it would make sense that you could serve as that committee if you so desire.
Can we look up the RSA and?
Yeah, see what the RSA says and what the, would be
Okay.
anticipated.
Off the top of your head, do you know, is the commission's size, number of members the same?
I would have to, I really don't have that information off the top of my head. I worked with it in Northwood a little bit, but some of that has completely gone.
If it gets any dry, there's not gonna be any agriculture left in town anyhow.
Right, well, and that's the thing. So what we could do, how about, if you don't mind, at the September meeting, by then we can get, Joan, would you mind looking up the RSA and sharing that with the members? And I will tell the board that you'd like to review
Reviewing it.
the RSA and,
Yeah.
but that you're not shutting it out at this point, that you'll entertain that thought?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Researching.
All right.
Wasn't Pat Jewett on,
No, that
No,
was.
that was a different,
No,
that was
she-
separate.
No. See, an agricultural committee, under state law, I guess, is pretty, it's a, there's a lot of responsibility there if you
Well, I think
choose
it's
to take it.
number one, to promote agriculture.
Right.
And not to make ordinances that are
No.
against agriculture.
No. It's a promotion, and it's making sure, or protecting, agriculture. And
That, I was just, in my office there, I have a paper that, is your town farm friendly? So we have a lot of data back there.
Right,
There's no kind of town fund for that, is it like the conservation fund, is it?
no.
So how do you protect if you,
Well, see,
you don't
this
own
is what we,
property?
I wanted to find out if there's an interest first, and then
Then you-
what we can do, I can ask Joan to, provide you with all the pertinent information, if you're willing to at least, look at it, and hopefully in September we can make a decision.
Good.
All right?
Good.
So Joan, maybe if, within the next couple of weeks, could you share, the RSA and all the information with? Thank you.
Rainforest report. You got two rainforest guys here, or what?
I have a question too, under new business, and it's basically just a question. The Smith property, the new property we bought across from the Colbys?
Yeah.
Like, going by there, this summer, that land looks pretty well worn out. Should we think about maybe in the future of, I don't know,
Not planting corn?
just plant it, maybe replant it in grass or something rather than, and build the soil back up?
Well, Charlie does plant winter rye every year. He always has.
But I mean, the soil is beat. You look at it,
It's sand.
yeah.
It always has been sandy. Yeah. It's
But I mean, half of it isn't even growing because there's nothing, well, I know, but,
But corn takes a lot out of the soil, a lot. And, I always,
And there's been no rain.
thinking that sun portion, then he always puts corn in, maybe it's time to not.
Well-
He plants the corn
I know.
on the edge as a buffer. That's the buffer, so they have the pumpkins behind, and that's actually put up as a screen. Is why that's planted more so for the corn.
Takes better in the soil.
but if you look like in back at Kevin Lynch's house over there, that whole top is all just pure baby sand. I mean, there's nothing growing.
When I go down there to pick beets and that on the pick your own things, it is just basically sand and you can get your fingers in easily, but it's not like,
It's like powder.
yeah,
Everything
it
is right now.
still
Good for
holds.
growing carrots
That's right.
Oh, yeah, it's great for
So
carrots.
let's grow
and
Carrots.
beets and,
But I think,
Onions.
because
Look at that, Tom, I came from a city, look at me now.
Oh, you're smart.
I was just asked if we had an agreement with McQuestions, and I did give Troy the agreement we have, and he said, probably the selectman should have signed this, but he wasn't gonna open that can of worms.
Yeah.
We do have an agreement, and we're paid $1,500 a year, and they have insurance, but I said, you know, if something happens to Charlie where he's not farming anymore, definitely need to get into a better management plan on what should be planted there and what, you know, to renew the soil, I think you're right. But, cause I walked down in Wilson's Field behind, like where they used to sell perennials down in there to the river, and that, when it gets dry, it's just like powder, something silky powder.
Yeah, it's just river bottom.
But the thing is, even now, I'm certainly not libertarian, but you know, we start talking about suggesting to a landowner that they,
We're the landowners.
oh,
Yeah, we're the.
Yeah.
I get it.
We're not gonna suggest to them if they're the landowners.
Forget that I just said that.
Okay, we'll cancel that comment.
Yeah.
That you're a libertarian? No,
No, well, that too.
no, I'm sorry.
No, I'm not. Okay.
I like the way you put that.
But I mean, I do recognize the right of a landowner.
No, it's just that
What's the RSA?
we own the property and we are charged with the best management practices.
Correct.
of the
And-
field, and I just, it was just a question, I'm not,
Well, we should, when,
Okay.
I mean, they have a state agriculture department, so, and they're pretty active, it wouldn't hurt at some point for them to
Just,
come down. to us,
also,
that's
RSA
them.
Charlie works with them all the time. I mean, he's always around.
I'm
for
at six.
pest control and so on.
They work with the farmers closely.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else?
Okay, rainfall. We're still trying to get that rain out. You guys find some rain?
What rains?
Is that- the rain gauge have anything?
674.
yeah, well, I
Section
have
44.
May, June,
Holy.
and July here,
And I
because
forgot to do mine.
Lily.
But I just know one
And
thing, I
also
don't
look at
think I've had
673.
2.5 inches of rain since May at my house.
well, according to my rain gauge in May, we had 3.66 inches of rain.
Oh, in May, yeah,
Yeah, in
since
June,
May,
Oh, May, in May.
in May,
right,
in June, we had 2.35 inches of rain.
maybe in your end of town.
Varies.
He's got a cloud over his house. That's,
A black cloud.
oh, I forgot April. April is, 3.58 inches,
We had April, cause we had April and we had a May meeting.
and
Right.
July, we only had 1.7 inches at my house. So,
Yeah, I had 1.39 and then 8, 9, 8, 17, 1.47 the month of July.
Well, it is amazing, just as we've talked before, this is one of the reasons why I've asked you guys to do this, because it varies so much. I mean,
Oh.
because where they were using Nashua, they still use Nashua Airport for the official, Pennachuck, is it the Pennachuck or the airport?
The airport.
The airport, for the
yeah,
official,
Pennachuck does it,
Okay.
but the official reading, I think, is from,
is the airport.
yeah.
So, I mean, and it varies so much. I mean, I had a guy in the shop the other day, that used to be on the Londonderry Conservation Committee, and now lives in Manchester, right near the, what's the name of that fishing place in Londonderry?
Londonderry Fishing Game.
No, in Londonderry, no, in Manchester, where they sell the fishing supplies there.
Oh,
Bass Pro Shop. He lives up in
Oh.
that area, Hackett Hill.
Yeah, they've got-
Last Friday when he was in for a haircut, he said there was an inch of water in his backyard.
Right.
His backyard was flooded.
Wow.
On the north end of Manchester.
I was watching the radar the other night. We had a wall of water
Yeah.
coming, and I said to my wife, "Oh, your garden's going to be fine." It got here, dissipated.
He had over 3 inches.
Dissipate.
He had over 3 inches in his yard last week.
We had nothing.
Here's a theory from the guy who used to fly to spray the fields.
Right.
Comes across, it hits Uncle Nunix,
Yeah.
and it splits.
That's exactly what someone else said.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Brendan, I can't remember his last name, from the state, was on NPR this morning, talking about the drought and how Salem and Seabrook have good water metering. And, you know, they talked about you don't want the downpours because it just runs right over.
Right.
Right. Mhm.
And you need,
Oh, it's good for the pool.
even with 4 days of steady rain, we may not get out. And the interesting thing they said was, in the arid west, where they grow crops, they're used to every few years having terrible droughts, but we aren't used to
No.
No.
doing anything
I
about
mean,
it.
they were talking rain for Friday night and Saturday, but no, just when I left the house, it looked like it's all dried up and gone.
Yeah.
Before it even got here. So,
What a surprise.
yeah, it's just, it's
Well,
history.
you ought to see some of the trees in Moore's Falls. With that big windstorm that we had
Oh,
there.
my God.
There's some pine trees over there, literally just split right in half.
I don't know, well, Dark Hole Stables,
Yeah, I saw
Oh,
that.
yeah.
beautiful
Yeah.
trees. Whatever that wind was that
It's a
came
micro, it had to be
through.
a microburst.
When?
She is so
And
lucky that never hit her
Winter
house.
Circle, a house, I mean, a tree went right through
Really?
Fitzy's house, Fitzgerald,
Really?
remember
Yeah, really?
Fitzy? Boom.
This-
Lance Ave,
Yeah,
they had a tree
had to be a
into a
microburst.
house
Had to do that.
over on White Street.
Mhm.
Tremendous damage.
Oh, then I went down to
And then,
Natick.
4 days later, one came in from the other side, my neighbor's screen house, lifted it right off the ground, crumpled it, and sent it right into his lilac bush.
Oh, my God.
That and his gas grill lifted it right off the ground. I don't know what it was. It was
Well, that
incredible.
Monday storm, people at Natticook called, so I went down there, and it just like, their 1 acre lot got hit really hard on the river, and he has a conservation easement and shoreline protection. So they wanted the town and the state to pay for the cleanup, and I said, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah, really.
So they think they might just clear away the yard, because they couldn't touch the shoreline because of all these but I'm sorry, you bought it that way, it's in the deed. State of the town, and I called the state, and they said, no, we don't have any money.
The second storm, the wind, it had to be between 60 and 70 miles an hour, but no rain.
But no rain, just dry.
And a mile down the
That
road, it
was
would rain,
Saturday, right?
it rained like crazy. Huh?
The Saturday, that was a Saturday, oh yeah.
Right, because we had Monday and Saturday.
I was
right?
at the Massabesic Lake, 3 boats tipped over, that storm.
Yeah.
Wow, it was
And we
nasty.
lost 2 big pine trees, but we didn't hit the building.
And you could hear that it was like a,
Yeah,
and it was really scary because first time I heard a wind like that come through, and it had to have been like a straight line wind or something.
something,
Well, it
yeah.
was on the lake, first everything was calm, then all the boats started going clang, 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 then white cats, and then bigger white cats, and then whoosh,
Yeah.
the boats went away.
Okay, correspondence.
Okay, so let me get my correspondence pile.
Pile, okay.
First is, okay, Jonathan Newt, our wonderful county forester, retired in May, and he sent a nice letter, a short letter. His replacement will not be hired until February.
Budget constraints.
I don't know why. He will be maintaining both his forester and arborist certificates, however, I will not be doing any consulting, just happy to work in my own woodlots. So, sad to see him go, but hopefully he'll, and then I sent him a note back that we have fondly worked with him over the years. The next one was DOT's demolishing, that was in May, demolishing 3 town property, 3 state properties.
Now, which ones?
I think they're on 102.
242 Derry Road.
Yep.
And 231 Derry Road.
Yeah.
And then Route 3A, the sister's house.
Oh, okay.
But,
I wonder how come the grass hadn't been cut
but
this year.
Stephen Calloway is working with them, and I emailed Stephen, and he said he's still working with them because they would like to just use the house for free, and the state was gonna charge them $1,000 a month. Stephen said, you're shooting yourself in the foot.
So who would use the house?
They wanna have like a artist colony, display, shop.
Bulldoze it.
What house is that?
The one right next to Bushy's greenhouse there, the big old place that.
Oh,
yeah,
It's part of the
yeah.
circumferential
Oh, yeah,
highway.
Which one,
that's
Tom?
one.
Danford,
Danford's
Danford's.
house.
Yeah.
Yes,
It was 2 old
Is that the
Spencers
gray
that we
one?
lived in.
Yeah.
yeah, with the
With the blue top on the
blue
roof.
tarp
and
on the roof.
And the grass is up yay high and,
The one we went to a fire, oh yeah,
yeah, that's the one.
holy mackerel.
That's where the new bridge was supposed to go
Yeah, that
through.
was part of the bridge, everything they're selling is out part of the bridge, well, circumferential highway.
Then we have a letter from Fish and Game, about monitoring our easement. Good thing I cleaned out the filing because we had a couple of years of easements in there. They think we should put up signs for ATV use, which I agree, and they say we can supply you with no vehicle use signs for the property as described in 2A limited recreation uses. Oh, that's in the agreement. But I don't know where to, I call Fish and Game to get the signs.
So is it being used now, is it being used now by four-wheelers?
No.
She said there was, let's see. This was in June, they did the survey, they did the, no violations observed. And she said, they're parked at the trailhead and kiosk and walk the trails. The trail to the trolley line is somewhat overgrown. The trail from the trolley line to the river is open. ATV activity noted along Old Trolley Line, see photo 2. Noted new fishing game signs, 341, foot trail, well pad, and no other activity noted.
I cut the grass there
I saw you truck one, Wednesday.
Tuesday or Wednesday, whatever, and there was no activity down there whatsoever. There is a family of guinea hens down there.
Oh, cool.
Family of what?
Of guinea
Guinea
hens.
hens.
Yeah, yeah, I wonder if they escaped
From Charlie's.
From Charlie's or from Darko Stables, because there was two people that were beating in the bushes when I was running the tractor down there, and the guy says, "Hey, there's a whole mess of turkeys down in there," and I see two of them come running out. I said, "Those aren't turkeys; those are guinea hens."
Are they good eating?
Oh yeah, they're like
So close, we can go over Gil and Brent, bring it home and cook it.
Tastes like chicken.
On your grill.
they can fly really well. They normally will roost on a roof or in the trees or whatever.
Wow.
They can get aggressive too.
Yeah,
if You mess with their young.
So that's, Fish and Game, or actually, state of New Hampshire, it's, Fish and Game has an easement on that top parcel.
Right.
Somebody put signs down there, since the last time I was there. They're yellow signs and
Yeah,
they say
take a picture of it.
a multi-use, area, hunters or whatever, maybe in the,
I don't know if we put those there in last hunting season, or they put them there.
they weren't there last fall that I know of.
But it's good to have those those are the ones I got from the state, they may have put those up, that multi-use, that's the old reports. Just so hunters know there are people down
That's
there.
right. And vice versa.
I spent about 3 hours down there cutting the grass. I gotta get back there. There's some chainsaw work that's gotta be done.
Did you get all the way down to the trolley track?
Yes, yeah, yeah. The place is really overgrown. I mean, it's incredible, how, those trees have grown back.
On the lower field.
Where, yeah, where, you know, they went in and cut everything.
Yeah.
Especially the poplars. I mean, they're,
Really?
It's good soil in full sun.
Yeah. What do we got else? What do we got here? Invasive plants.
We have a June 1st letter from Association of Conservation Commissions booklet about picking our battles, a guide to planning successful invasive plant management projects. And I'm sure we have garlic mustard, bittersweet.
Bittersweet.
And we said at Stage Crossing we have,
it's Japanese knotweed,
barberry.
yeah. And then, of course, we have, Phragmites.
Yeah.
What's that weed that climbs your trees and?
Bittersweet.
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 Oh,
They kill everything in sight.
Thank
Yeah.
God for Roundup. I spray the heck out of those things.
Does Roundup work on it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, good.
We gotta do it early enough.
Oh,
course.
we'll get some.
Gets too big, it
it
won't.
works on
Well, you
everything
gotta
else,
cut
too.
them,
Yeah, cut them
but
open.
I cut them and then I spray them because
Spray
if you don't, they,
Just gonna keep going and going.
Yeah.
They'll pull the trees down in no time.
and more dead trees.
Then we
because
have
they-
an anonymous letter that also went to the Selectmen, Conservation Commission, Planning Board. Planning Board said, we're not dealing with it because it's anonymous. And
Right, and the Board of Selectmen, placed it on file and,
we're doing
Because-
anything that this person wants.
correct, and the thing is, until they're willing to,
Step forward.
you know, step forward, you know, we felt that it was, important to know what the issue was
Right.
and be able to talk with that person.
Yeah, because this has all these demands, but,
Right,
Demands?
well, you know, the first concern is that we address the problem that has been affected the residents. Well, certainly the state and the town is
right.
addressing the
We're
problem.
doing, you know,
Over and
as
above.
far as the town, you know, and we hired
Lawyer.
the law firm, the environmental law firm. I mean, we're doing everything that we can to protect the interests of the town as best as we know how,
Right.
and is
And Pennachuck
within the
went
resources that we have.
Pennachuck went out and designed
Hate them
what they
sticky
could do
things.
now, just
Correct.
St. Cobain has to be willing to
Right.
pay for it.
So
But now, are these class action suits, is that gonna
those
cause?
are private.
Those
I
are
know,
private.
but is that gonna cause St. Cobain to not do the water because of the?
I would
class
expect
action?
so.
Uh,
That'd be my prediction. I would shut right
That's
down if I was them.
They don't wanna
who's.
admit blame?
I can't answer that.
No.
I'm
Those
thinking that St. Cobain, though, in dealing with the town itself, will, or dealing with EPA, or New Hampshire DES, will step up and we're hoping that they will
So
do
you
the
haven't
right
had an
thing.
answer from them?
And the private suits, you know, we can't address them, they're
Right.
private.
No.
And,
But you
the
haven't
dealings that we've had with DES so far have been very productive. They have been very responsive, and we're hoping that Saint Gobain recognizes that and, you know, does what they can do.
So they haven't answered your pension demands at all?
No, we're working on that, and it seems like they, it seems positive, so we'll keep you in the loop on that.
Thank you. What's going on with guardrails?
Then we got July sixth, the need from DOT, the need for the project is to replace the existing substandard cable guardrail with new W-beam
That's
guardrail with
interesting.
steel posts. At, the work is located town of Litchfield, 3A.
Okay, that covers it.
Wow, yeah, that,
North end.
Up near Brent's.
Oh, no, two spots, north end and then looks like below the school. But if you see them out, replace them.
really, I didn't even know we.
I can't see any, I'm trying to picture guardrails, I can't picture guardrails.
And then the
Well,
last
down near,
one was this, if anybody's interested in going to a sustainable forestry initiative on your small, for your small woodlot management, that's coming up. If you have a small woodlot. Or a
Anyway, I
big
could think of Thomas Watts Brook down in there.
Yeah,
the
on the
garbage.
curve, yeah.
woodlot. And that's all I have for correspondence.
What's the one here, from New Hampshire, SFI?
This card.
That's the one you're reading, okay.
That's,
It's such a small card for such a big item.
yeah,
Okay. Minutes of May,
I don't have them, I'm trying to here, so.
Next month.
next month.
Just so you know, the Lower Merrimack River Advisory Committee hasn't met for a while, only because there haven't been any projects that have been upcoming, but I suspect that we will have a meeting in the fall sometime, so. You know.
Is there anything else before that come before us this evening?
Just thank Roger for, Morris Falls. I did have a.
Yes, Roger, thank you.
A call from a gentleman who has a website called, hiking, I saved it, I forget what it's called, hiking something. He works in Manchester and he likes to find short hikes near Manchester.
Mhm.
He went to Morris Falls and left us a message that it was really overgrown and could, you know, he wanted to know if it could, not that, could anything be done, but were we planning on anything, so that's.
Was he
what I called.
volunteering to help?
Should ask him that. But he has a pretty nice website. But that's, and I did send him one of these maps.
I gave one of my customers the Londonderry trail map,
Trail map.
and he was over there sometime this summer, and he says he got home, he had 43 ticks on him. He spent 3 hours
Oh,
getting
I
the ticks
know.
off the dogs, the
That's
dog.
where I got my Lyme
Oh, they're
disease.
awful.
They should be better now because it's so dry.
No, it's horrible. He was just there a couple
Still
weeks
there?
ago, yeah.
Oh, they're, yeah, it,
They thrive on anything and
They like
everything.
humidity.
Yeah, is it, do they? Mhm.
there's got to be something somebody can do
Chickens.
about those things.
Chickens.
All right, well, we have to get more
You
chickens.
don't even want to go anywhere near the
Chickens.
woods anymore.
Well, Morris Falls is especially bad area, and probably up by you, too.
Yeah, I don't go across the street anymore.
Yeah. Okay, I'll entertain a motion unless somebody else has something else.
Mr. Chairman, I'll
Yes.
move we adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous? We are adjourned at 7:47. Okay, all right, 7:45 is fine.
Good, my pizza might still be warm.
Joan, do you have a booklet,